battle for control of the Bosnian capital, Sarajevo, has focused on the area surrounding the hotel where EC monitors and the international press are based. From early this morning, the sound of heavy artillery, machine gun and sniper fire has reverberated around the district, which until today had been one of the most peaceful areas of the city. From inside the hotel, Serb forces could be seen firing at Muslim positions a short distance away. The Serbs were stationed outside a geriatric hospital, which then became the focus of attack. Last weekend, Serb forces moved into this hotel, thus jeopardizing the safety of the European community monitors who'd established their headquarters here. The gunfire around this hotel is so intense it's not possible to leave the building at present. Serb forces based here are putting the blame firmly in the Muslim court. They say that unless the attack is halted, they'll open up a much heavier assault on Muslim villagers. Some reports suggest that Muslim forces did launch today's attack, emboldened by success in yesterday's battle in the centre of Sarajevo. But this is impossible to verify. EC observers managed to negotiate a ceasefire with the local commanders on each side. It was due to take effect at 11 this morning, but 11 o'clock passed and there was no improvement.
It's a live battle. It's been going on since 6 a.m. this morning. It's very serious. There are casualties, there are dead people out there. And the EC Monitor mission has been doing its best to try and get a ceasefire, to contact the local commanders, but at the moment, without success, and this is something to be regretted. So the situation is very serious, it's very dangerous, and people are being killed.
Among today's casualties was Rob Selliers, a cameraman working for the television news agency Visnews. He was hit in the arm and quickly evacuated to a hospital out of the area. After yesterday's fierce battle in the centre of Sarajevo, today's attack, so close to the headquarters of the EC mission, is seen as yet another major setback to EC negotiators trying to broker a peace agreement.
Well, it's very disappointing, of course, that conflict should take place very close to here because it's recognised as being the headquarters of the Monitor mission, who are only here to try and help the situation. And also within about 50 metres of the hotel there is a hospital, and that's being used in both a defensive position by some of these irregulars. Who is to blame at this stage, of course, is difficult to assess, but we could only appeal once again to these that this is mindless violence, it's not encouraging, and in order to use a target of a hotel that's occupied by the international press as well as the EC Monitor mission, and a hospital which is occupied by patients, certainly is not something any of us would wish for.
Elsewhere in the Republic, the fighting escalated towards all-out war. 5 civilians were killed in Deventer, where the Serbian news agency said regular Croatian army units were in action against Serb forces. The Federal Army also reported 6 Croatian brigades and 70 tanks had arrived in Bosnia, and an artillery battalion was on its way from Zagreb. In western Herzegovina, Metkovic and neighbouring villages were attacked by the Yugoslav Air Force. 3 people were killed and 8 injured after the village was devastated by 250-kilogram bombs dropped by the aircraft. In what appears to be a concerted Serbian push towards the coast, the night bombing raid was followed by a dawn artillery bombardment. There's growing evidence that the Serb-controlled Federal Army is increasingly active in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Army tanks arrived at the scene of the battle in Sarajevo late this afternoon, and an uneasy silence followed. Lord Carrington is still expected to arrive here tomorrow despite today's events. But unless he makes a dramatic diplomatic breakthrough, the likelihood is that Serbia will suffer diplomatic isolation and tough sanctions. Liz Donnelly, ITN, Sarajevo.